Shalom. Call halal Yahweh by Shemal Shai by Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners. And to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And I want to start a scripture with, we'll open with this scripture. This is Psalms 85 and 11. And it reads, "Truth shall spring out of the earth, and righteousness shall look down from heaven." Meaning that this author that you see on the screen is Gert Mueller, and he is the author of the Ancient Black Hebrews and these other books, the Ancient Black Hebrews, Jacob and his families. You can see it on the screen there. Talking about the Black Madonna, going into the icons and the relics, which are ignored by modern day historians and scholars and also in the Christian world, people like Vocab Malone, Dr. James White, the Edomite demons like Cherry Love, people like that. They just ignore all these. They just look the other way, close the door. It's almost like having evidence that would exonerate you in a courtroom, but the evidence is never presented to the court before the court. So, kind of sounds familiar, like a situation, but nevertheless, the information that you have exonerates you, and that yet they never examine it or just ignore it. All right, same thing that's going on with Fauci and this man-made thing now. They can't delete videos like that because now it's been proven that this thing does have origins with being man-made with this whole what do you call it? Gain of function research. But that's neither here nor there. Just making a comparison. But it's another scripture I'm looking for before I start reading this book through the lens of the camera. So I'm gonna bring the book up through the lens of the camera, that the readers, that the viewers may read along with me. And, I'm pretty sure it's in Psalm 64. Is it Psalm 64 and 8? I believe so. Let's just go right to that. If it's not 64 and 8, it's 68 and 4. Oh no, it is 64 and 8. "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away." So this is another case of an Edomite spilling the beans about humanity. Because what he's telling you is that he even tells you that all these nations in the beginning were dark people. And just because you're dark, you don't make you the same. He also breaks that down too. Something that we see all the time, because you got these people who want to cleave on to darkness, like everyone that's melanated is your people. No, melanated people were enemies and in contention with each other. And all melanated people were enemies to the Israelites, who was a melanated race. All right? In the beginning, they were, until they started mixing and mingling, especially after Esau, Edom did what they did, to the citizens of the world, But without any further ado, we're going to get into the book, all right? It's the Ancient Black Hebrews, Abraham and his family, all right? And so what he's going to do is present you with information and evidences, all right? And so here, we're going to start in the introduction. This is a very short book. You could probably read it in an hour or so if you really put your head to it. But it says, Introduction. Who was Abraham? The oldest traditions concerning Abraham can be found in the Bible, specifically the book of Genesis. Who was he? Encyclopedia Britannica introduces him in the following words. And I put no V in Hebrew, so I'm edged in pencil. I've learned to write in pencil so I can erase and, remove and change stuff. But it says Abraham, Hebrew, Avra. See, they have the V. There's no V in Hebrew. Originally called Abram, flourished, and I'm gonna tell you why that. Now that I said it, the V, the E, the O, the A, those sounds were added by Eliab ben Yehudi in the 1800s. All right, those were add-ons by him. That's not a part of the Hebrew language originally. All right, that's the Yiddish influence which they speak today and call it actual Hebrew. All right, but it says flourished in the 2nd millennium BC, the first of the Hebrews patriarchs, and a figure revered by 3 great monotheistic religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. By saying early 2nd millennium BCE for Abraham's lifetime, the source gives us an approximate date and range of from 1999 to 1700 BC. Abraham's original name was Abram, which in the Northwest Semitic, and that's no such thing. That's something that they made up. Is Shemitic, indicated exalted father. The name of Abraham indicates Northwest Shemitic, father of a multitude. All right, and I'm gonna read Revelations 2:10. All right, because Esau loves to create classifications to put people in. So even when they're telling you the truth, they still give you fabrications. All right, it's just in their nature. They cannot help it. The snake of the story of the toad and the frog crossing the river. If you never heard that story, basically it's I don't even remember when I first heard it. I heard it before I even got in the truth, and I remember hearing one of the elders mention it. I think it was Apostle Ramlab, but nevertheless, as the story goes, there's a toad at the edge of a river, and the scorpion walks up, and the scorpion asks for a ride across to the other side of the river, and the toad is like, "No way, you'll sting me," and the scorpion, says, "Well, no, I wouldn't, because if I sting you, then we both would die." So the toad, being intelligent and thinking, well, that's obvious, yeah, because then you're right, we both would die. So and I know you don't want to kill yourself. So anyway, the toad's like, "All right, man, I'm going to the other side, so I guess I can give you a ride. I'm going over there anyway." So he says, "Hop on." So the toad gets in the water. The scorpion walks out and hops on his back, and they begin their journey across the river. So when they're like, halfway across the river in the deepest part, all of a sudden the toad feels the sharp pain, and he was like, and the toad is like, why did you do that? He said, "Now we both would die." And then the scorpion just said, "I'm a scorpion. It's my nature. I couldn't help myself." So Esau just can't help but tell lies. But anyway, this is Revelation 12:10. And it reads, "And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, Now has come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power," personal pronouns, "and the power of his Hamashiach, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night." And a few months back, Elder Yashawamba went into that scripture in detail and brought out the fact that word "accuse" is to categorize. So Esau Edoms likes to make up categories to put people in, make up names and categories, and he doesn't like it when you step out of those categories which he constructed for you, like he constructed for himself, white. All right, when there's no such thing, as you can clearly see on Gert's picture, especially of him older, you can clearly see that Gert is pink. He's reddish. his blood shows forth through his skin. Pink is a derivative of red, all right? And the so-called white man is actually red. They're Esau, Edom. And the first came out red all over. And, you know, I had this conversation yesterday with the Elamite in the park where I do lessons. You know, she came and sat down on the bench, asked me if she could join me at the table. I was there all by myself. And I told her, sure, if I'd have known she was going to light up her Newports and smoke cigarette after cigarette after cigarette, I probably would have said, now I'm waiting for somebody or something. But nevertheless, she struck up the conversation with me. So, I had a conversation with her, and we were just, we were just talking about the state of the world, and she was, and I said what I said, and she was like, like, wow, so what do you perceive is the end result? How can we fix this? And I said, well, the so-called white people, and I call them that because they're not white, they're red, they're really pink. And I said, like it said in the Bible, the first came out red all over like a hairy garment. And she was like, wow,